What is happening, guys? It's Spruce Goose here, and welcome to the final episode of Madden's Trash for Madden 21. And all I gotta say is thank goodness we only have one more month of this terrible game, because this game is worse than ever before. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so if this is your first time seeing a Madden's Trash video, basically I go through specific game examples and point out where the code of the game is just fundamentally broken, and if EA cared about the quality of their game, they would absolutely fix these things, but they usually don't. Now at this point in the year, we only have 1 month left of Madden 21. I realized these are not going to be fixed. That's why I took a little break from the Madden's Trash series. I kind of was just like, well, the game is not being updated at this point. They're focused on Madden 22, so I just did not put one of these videos out for a while. But now we have just a month left, and I was like, you know what? Let's put one more out. Just compile a bunch of them together and put it all out there and show once and for all how Madden 21 was just not a very good game. Now, what's crazy, guys, is all these examples I'm going to show you today all happened to me within the last week or week and a half. It's not like I was holding on to these for months and months at a time to finally have enough to make a video on. I can make one of these videos every single week and have plenty of examples to show you guys. The reality is there's just so many issues in the game. I don't think EA cared very much this year. I think they were focused on developing next-gen Madden 22, and so I really hope that next year will be better, but there are so many issues this year in Madden 21. And real quick, guys, I want to give you an update about the channel. Some of you already know this from my previous video, but I'm moving away from having gameplay on my main channel. Those are just my lowest viewed videos, and I want to give you guys videos that you guys want to see. So I'm moving my gameplay over to a second channel called More Spruce Goose TV. So if you're interested in gameplay, especially raw, uncut gameplay where you can see all the adjustments and the entire thought process for calling the plays, definitely go consider checking that out and subscribing if you enjoy the content. And those games are taken from my Twitch stream at twitch.tv/SpruceGooseTV. I stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern time. So if you're interested, please come by, say hi. I'd love to chat with you over there. But all right, that's enough announcements. Let's get into it. This is the first example. And guys, all these were taken from Xbox recordings, and so the quality might not be 100%, but it should be pretty good. Should be good enough to show you guys what I need to show you. And so this first example, guys, I want to show you this defender in a curl flat right here. Now, I always put my zone drops with my blue flats at 25 yards and my purple flats at 5 yards, okay? And when you have a zone drop set, it overrides any zone logic, okay? So he should not be doing typical curl flat logic, which, you know, sometimes might have some man matching principles involved if there's no zone drop set. But with a 5-yard zone drop set, he should drop here to 5 yards and do nothing else and play it like a true zone. And I want you guys to watch this guy right here in the purple. When I hit play, I want you to watch what he does. He is going to drop into his 5-yard flat, and then randomly, he's just going to decide he's got other plans. And he's just going to take off up the field, what, chasing a wide receiver nowhere near him? Like, I don't understand. And the reason I have this 5-yard flat on is specifically to guard the short flat. And if you look at where my opponent ends up throwing the ball, he ends up throwing it to a receiver in the short flat. But here's my 5-yard flat just taking off after nobody. And I actually spotted this in a game a day or two before this happened. And so the moment I saw the flat that open, I was like, this 100% has to be the same issue. And sure enough, it was. I don't know if he's matching really late on this guy or something, but there's clearly an issue right now with the 5-yard curl flats, and it was not around for most of the year. So to me, this is just further proof that EA tinkers with the game and doesn't tell us. Because sometimes I'd be like, it seems like EA ghost patched something, but there'd be no patch notes. I'd be like, maybe it's just my imagination. Maybe I'm just saying it because it's not working for me right now. But this is like 100% proof that EA tinkers behind the scenes and makes changes without telling us, because this was not happening all year. And all of a sudden, a 5-yard curl flat mid-play decides to just take off down the field, leave the flat wide open. And sure enough, that was a 3rd and 3, get up a first down from it. So that's number one, guys. We got a lot to get through, so I'm not going to ramble too much. That was number one. Let's jump ahead to the next play. Alright guys, so this one might not be quite as egregious as the last one, but it's still pretty bad. And so if you guys watch, my opponent is going to throw a deep ball down the sideline to his wide receiver, and I'm going to have a defender in the vicinity who absolutely can make a play on the ball. So right here, I'm going to pause it, and if you look, his receiver is what? About what is that, 7 yards vertically away from that orange dot, and another, almost like a square, another like 7 yards toward the sideline. You guys can see my defender is about 4 yards away from that orange dot vertically, and maybe, 5 yards horizontally. So my defender is absolutely closer to this orange dot than the receiver. And so at the very least, this should be a contested ball. And I'm going to let it play real quick. And if you guys look what happens, my defender stops. My defender initially runs toward the ball and then just stops. And I can't click onto that guy. I can't make a play myself because he's not the closest one to the ball until the ball's already there. But look, right here, he has decided to square up. He started to run, and he squares up and just watches the guy in front of him catch the ball. And when the ball got thrown, I was like, oh my gosh, we absolutely have a chance of intercepting this. At a bare minimum, we're going to knock this away. He just squared up and watched the guy catch the ball. And I have talked all year about how dumb and broken the zones are. And this is just another example, in my opinion, where the game just defies all logic and reason of you have a guy standing there watching the ball come in. He just squares up, lets the guy catch it in front of him. So, again, I'm not going to ramble too much on these things, but it's just one of the many examples of just how bad zones are and how much EA needs to focus on zones being better for Madden 22. So that was example number 2. Let's jump ahead to number 3. All right, guys, now this one's pretty bad. This one had me fuming. And I just want to ask you a quick question. If you were playing the position of left tackle and found yourself in this position where you had no one lined up directly in front of you, but there is an edge rusher out here on the outside, and you know that the running back's going in motion, so the running back's not staying in the block, who would you try to guard at the snap? Would you maybe turn your eyes to this linebacker or this safety, or would you just kind of focus on this edge rusher? Because my left tackle kind of had no interest in blocking the edge rusher, and it resulted in me fumbling the ball and giving my opponent the ball for no reason. So if you watch at the snap, the tackle moves forward and then decides, oh, I should have blocked the edge rusher maybe. That's like 99, pretty much 99 everything on this guy. It's not like his awareness is like a 70. I mean, this is the end of the year, and these teams are all just like basically 99 overall across the board. And so this was just silly. And then the guy goes by, he's like, oh, well, I'll just let him go. Maybe we'll let the quarterback deal with it. This stuff is game-breaking, guys. This stuff is absolutely game-breaking to just get a free turnover for absolutely no reason because my left tackle just did not even try to block. And it's just silly. I don't know how people play this game at a competitive level. I don't know how the pro players avoid stuff like this from happening. Maybe they don't. Maybe they just have to deal with it anyway. But I think we need to demand better from EA. This is just stupid. This needs to be fixed. And there's not much else to say about it. So that was example 3. Let's jump ahead to example number 4. All right, guys, so here's another one that's relatively not so bad. I think we've become a little desensitized to these suction tackles, but suction tackles have absolutely been an issue this whole year. Now, right here, I know I'm not going to win this game most likely, but I'm running a play to just try and get some extra yards and then get out of bounds before the clock hits 0, so I get one more shot at going to the end zone. And I'm running out of, oh my gosh, just seeing that just bothers me so much. I'm trying to run out of bounds. I basically start running straight sideways with Lamar Jackson and his 99 speed. And right here, running straight sideways, if you guys watch, if we go frame by frame, Lamar's momentum is just going to come to a halt. So right there, you see that? Right, see that? The game made him come to a halt so that he can get this tackle animation. And I think that's what's so wrong. Okay, my program is being a little wonky, but we'll watch it one more time, guys. We'll watch it one more time. That's the issue. His momentum is just brought to a halt so that he can enter that tackle animation. It's so counterintuitive. Let's just watch it full speed. Like, do you see that, guys? Do you see how you're going to get to the sidelines and you're just stopped in your tracks because the game's like, okay, we're going to do this tackle animation right here. We've said it a million times. The game needs to move away from being so heavily animation-based. It has to be more physics-based. I mean, if the guy ended up diving and, like, slapping my foot and Lamar tripped and almost got out of bounds but didn't get out of bounds and so the clock continued to run, I'd be like, fine. Like, it'd be a hell of a play, but fine. But to just be, like, running full speed and literally stopped in your tracks. Like right here, my speed is now 0, and this guy is still like 2 yards away from me. But you get sucked into the animation anyway. So please, EA, please let's move towards physics-based gameplay. At least if we're going to be animation-based, it's got to be smoother than this. This is really bad. I think this was maybe a response to like last year, open field tackling was impossible, and so I think they increased the radius for these tackle animations to trigger. But boy, does it look bad. It's not a good look. And again, I just really hope it's better next year. Guys, that was example 4, I think. Let's jump ahead to number 5. All right, guys, this is another one that had me absolutely fuming. You can see my play art right here. My running back is doing it's like a deep out, but at the start, it's just like a little wheel. And so I'm going to just very quickly throw to him because he is open. And I have the inside Deadeye ability on Robert Griffin III. Now, there's been some debate this year about is inside Deadeye glitched where it gives you perfect pass accuracy anywhere. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, but I will say if there's one place where inside Deadeye should work, it's between the numbers, because that's what the ability was actually made for. It was perfect pass accuracy on passes between the numbers. And my quarterback is inside the numbers, my running back will be inside the numbers, there's going to be absolutely no pressure, and yet, somehow, with 99 accuracy and inside Deadeye, it even says Deadeye bullet pass at the bottom, we missed the throw. We missed the throw. Like, literally, 0 pressure, the running back is open, and he just misses. And so again, guys, these plays where it's just free turnovers for the opponent. It's just like, you are just playing the game. I'm just trying to throw to an open receiver. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not throwing out a sack. I'm not throwing on the run. I'm not throwing crossbody. I'm just trying to throw to an open running back, like, less than 10 yards away. And the game is just like, oh, no, that's going to be a turnover for the other team. And so, again, it's just so frustrating. And remember, guys, all these examples, most of these all happened within the last 7 days. I think one example, you can see, these are all the clips we're going to watch. 1 day ago, 2 days, 2 days, 4 days, 6 days, 6 days. They all happened pretty recently. Like, this stuff has been going on all year, guys. So, it bothers the hell out of me. But anyway, that was example, 5? Let's jump ahead to number 6. Now, guys, this one has been bothering me for months, and it is players falling over from basically nothing, especially on defense. Like, this is going to be an example on offense, but especially on defense, you're running with your user, and you just trip on the 30-yard line, and it's like, wow, I guess I just don't have a user for this play. In this case, it is happening all the time for me running with my quarterback. I'm going to show you guys what we trip on. Like, basically nothing. I think I basically trip on the fingernail of my offensive lineman on the ground or something, but just like, holy cow. So my O lineman does a cut block, and I think it's honestly, it's like his hand. I trip on his hand, maybe the tip of his helmet, but I mean, like, these are NFL players, man. Like, that should not be bringing Lamar down. Like, he should be able to lift his knee up just about an inch. I don't know. And look how much open space there is if we get around that. Like, just once again, it just feels like sometimes the game just really punishes you in these really dumb ways, to where I feel like that's a good play call. It's wide open, and we're just tripping on almost nothing. It's not like this was a one-time thing. This happened so often. If you were ever hanging out with me in my Twitch stream, you guys probably saw this a million times on this play, where the quarterback would just fall over from basically nothing. I wish I could put the balance beam ability on the quarterback, but sadly you cannot. I don't know if the balance beam ability would help or not, but I want to give it a shot. But yeah, people falling over. NFL players, I know people fall over. I'm not saying players don't ever fall over, but the frequency with which players fall over from nothing is way too high and needs to be addressed from Madden 22. So I don't even know what example we're at, but let's go to the next one. So once again, we've got major issues with the passing game, and they seem to happen at the absolute worst times. As you guys can see, it is a 3rd and 9. I need to convert this. If I score a touchdown, this game might be over because I'm winning by 3 in the 4th quarter. And I'm going to find my tight end wide open on a corner route right here. and he's just gonna stop. He just stops running. Now, this is nothing new. We've seen this all year, and I will say, guys, I just found out recently from one of my Twitch viewers that you can supposedly stop this by putting your intermediate pass catching and your deep pass catching on conservative. But I did not know that when I ran this play. As you guys can see, he's wide open. I just want to, I press A, I just want to possession catch it. And he just turns away from it. He stops his route, turns and watches it go by, and it's an interception for the other team. Please, EA, please fix this. It's just stupid. It's silly. It's stupid. Counterintuitive. It makes it really tough to take the game seriously. I still play the game way too many hours. Obviously, these have all not deterred me from playing the game, but this happened way too many times this year, and especially when it ends up being a free turnover for your opponent, it just makes you go, wow, I can't take this game too seriously. And I want to take Madden seriously, because I love Madden for the most part. Not when it's doing stuff like this, but for the most part I do. So please get this stuff out of the game. It's so bad for the game. But that was, I think, the final passing example. Let's jump ahead to the next example. All right, guys, so this one really bothers me, but it also made me think that maybe the reason the best players in the world don't run anything other than the meta is that the meta is the most consistent. Because this play right here, this motion swing, is a good play and works really well about 80% of the time. But the issue is that the other 20% of the time, it's abysmal. And it is a little bit of a dice roll whenever you run this play. Now, it's a good dice roll because, like I said, 80% of the time it works really well. But if you get the 20% of the time where it does not work well, it looks something like this, where look at the outside. We have basically 2 receivers and really 1 defender that can make the tackle. I guess you could say this receiver should be blocking in on one of these guys, but this is the main guy we need to watch out for. Most likely, we want Braylon Edwards, our B receiver, to go ahead and block him. And watch what Braylon Edwards does. He turns away. And I don't know if people pick up on this when they're watching other Madden games, because you're probably watching the ball. But look at Braylon Edwards. That's his guy. And he turned away. He ran towards his guy. Look at the snap. He's like, okay, I'm coming off the line. I need to find someone to block. Oh, let's turn around and let's come and like what is he doing? I can't even try to justify what he's doing. And all of a sudden, what should have been an easy first down is now I'm stopped short, and now it's 4th down because Braylon Edwards is incapable of just running forward and blocking the person directly in front of him. And to me, that's just gross coding on the part of EA. Like, that shouldn't be a thing. We want realism. We need to demand realism in all aspects of the game, guys. And this is about as unrealistic as it gets for a receiver to just run away from his blocker, or from his blocking assignment, and do absolutely nothing. I don't care that he has a low run block rating. Let him at least make an effort. Let him try to block him and get shedded if his run blocking is that bad. But don't just run away from it. That's terrible. So that is, I thought it was the final example, guys, but I got one more little bonus example to show you coming up right now. And this one, guys, this one's just a fluke. I'm not even going to say it's necessarily EA's fault. I just thought it was pretty funny. Wanted to show you. I should have just been better at the game, man. I should have just been better. I realize stuff like this is gonna happen. I'm not gonna talk about this one. It's just one of those 1 in a million things, man. It is what it is. I thought it was pretty funny. Ended up winning the game at least, so that made it a little bit better. But anyway, guys, that was the finale of Madden's Trash for Madden 21. I know it's just basically me ranting about the game, but guys, it's because I want the game to be better. I would love for Madden 22 to have way fewer issues than Madden 21 had. I realize it's going to have new issues. Like, that's just going to be inevitable in a Madden game, especially one made by EA. But hopefully these issues will all be gone, and hopefully, if not now, hopefully in time, making these Madden is Trash episodes will hopefully bring awareness to these issues. Because, guys, even though I say Madden is trash, obviously I love Madden. I'm like obsessed with Madden. I play it nonstop, or think about it, or do something with Madden pretty much all day, every day when I can. And so, again, guys, it's coming from a place of love. It's a love-hate relationship, I guess you could say. I would love for Madden to be the best game possible, and so that's why I care so much. If I didn't care, I would just not make these videos. I would just go play something else, you know, but I want Madden to be the best game possible. But anyway, guys, that is the video. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. Don't forget about the second YouTube channel, More Spruce Goose TV, where I've got all my raw, uncut gameplay over there. Don't forget about my Twitch stream, twitch.tv/SpruceGooseTV, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Please come by, say hi. I'd love to see you there. But that's all I got for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you in the next video.